Hello, this is Lazarus at Telecom Tech, where telecom and networking technologies are simply explained. Today we'll be simply explaining the Cluster List BGP attribute. Now, iBGP requires a full mesh of iBGP peerings within an autonomous system in order to allow it to function correctly. Along with that requirement, we have the iBGP split horizon rule, which is enforced to prevent routing loops. Route reflectors are a mechanism used to bypass the requirement of the full mesh peering, vastly improving the scalability of autonomous systems. However, when we employ route reflectors, we are also bypassing that all-important split horizon rule. And for this reason, when we do deploy route reflectors, we need to introduce another mechanism that will help to prevent routing loops. There are actually two pieces of information that are used in such a scenario to help with avoiding routing loops. And these are the originator ID and the cluster list. In a previous video, we described the originator ID in detail and how it works. You can find a link to that video in the description below. In this video, we'll be examining the cluster list attribute and we'll see how it works. The cluster list, like the originator ID, is actually a BGP attribute, as we mentioned. It's an attribute that's only used in the context of route reflectors. So if you haven't done so already, take a look at two of my previous videos, one on route reflectors themselves and another on the basic route reflector configuration on a Cisco iOS router before you go on. Looking at those videos will definitely make this video much more understandable. Links to those videos can be found in the description below. Now, the cluster list is a BGP attribute as mentioned before, but it's not involved in the BGP best path selection algorithm. As an attribute, it simply appears within BGP updates that are sent between iBGP routers. And in particular, it only appears in updates that are generated by route reflectors themselves. Now, in order to understand the concept of cluster lists, let's first take a look at what a cluster is. A cluster, in the terminology of iBGP route reflectors, is essentially a grouping of route reflectors and their clients. By default, each single route reflector along with its client routers constitute a single cluster. And the cluster ID is actually the router ID of the route reflector itself. In this diagram, we see three clusters with route reflector RR1 and its clients A1 and A2, another cluster with route reflector RR2 with its clients B1 and B2, and route reflector RR3 with its clients C1 and C2 form the third cluster. The cluster IDs by default for each of these clusters are the router IDs of the route reflectors. Now, before we go on to talk about the cluster list attribute, we need to clarify how route reflectors behave when there are multiple route reflectors within an AS. The rule is that all route reflectors within an autonomous system must form a full mesh iBGP peering with each other. So in this topology here, in order for it to function correctly, RR1, RR2, and RR3 must all peer with each other in a full mesh fashion. Also keep in mind that all route reflectors always reflect all routes to all other route reflectors. Now finally, we come to the cluster list. The cluster list attribute essentially contains the cluster IDs of all the clusters that have processed a particular route. When a route reflector propagates a route, it adds its own cluster ID to the cluster list attribute of that route. Let's see this in practice in an example. Remember, split horizon does not operate here. So in this particular topology, let's assume that B1 sends an update to its route reflector RR2, and RR2 in turn sends an update to both RR1 and RR3 because of their full mesh status. When RR2 sends this update to RR1 and RR3, it puts its own cluster ID, in other words, the router ID of that route reflector, in the cluster list. Let's ignore the update to RR1 for now and follow this update to RR3. So RR3 receives the update and it reads the cluster list. And within the cluster list, we see the cluster ID 2.2.2.2. That's the cluster ID of this cluster here. RR3 checks to see if its own cluster ID is in that cluster list. It's not in the list, therefore it takes that update and it processes it. It then adds its own router ID to the cluster list and it sends it to RR1. Now RR1 reads the cluster list, which now contains 2.2.2.2 as well as 3.3.3.3, and it sees that its own cluster ID is not in the list. So it then processes the update and adds its own cluster ID to that cluster list and forwards it on to RR2. Now RR2 receives the BGP update, it reads the cluster list of 2.2.2.2, 3.3.3.3, and 1.1.1.1, and it sees its own cluster ID in that cluster list. Therefore, it discards the route. So you see that the cluster list is used to ensure that any routes that have been learned from within a Route Reflector's particular cluster, if they are re-advertised into that cluster, they will not be installed and thus routing loops are mitigated. Now, as I mentioned before, by default, a cluster is composed of a single Route Reflector and its clients. And the cluster ID that's used by default is the router ID of the Route Reflector. However, you can redefine clusters such that a single cluster can contain multiple Route Reflectors. You can also have a single Route Reflector belong to multiple clusters as well. Now, this is where the design begins to become really funky and you really have to deeply understand the implications of all of these various permutations of configuration. But this is just one of the amazing things about Route Reflectors. This ability enables you to create a very granular and flexible iBGP peering arrangement that can be especially beneficial for extensively large autonomous systems. Now, here are a few rules to keep in mind as far as the cluster list attribute goes. First of all, only Route Reflectors send BGP updates that include cluster lists. Secondly, the cluster list attribute is included in all reflected BGP updates, regardless of the nature of the recipient of those updates. So when a Route Reflector reflects routes to either a client router, a non-client router, or to other Route Reflectors, those updates will always contain a cluster list attribute. Now, it may sound strange that non-Route Reflector routers receive updates with the cluster lists intact. Why would that be? Only Route Reflectors check the cluster lists to see if their own cluster ID is in the list. Client routers and non-client routers don't check it. And actually, they will never use the cluster list to evaluate what to do with a route. So why do we need that information in a BGP update that's received by a client or a non-client router? Well, the reason is because when we create a Route Reflector topology, it's possible to make a router a client of one Route Reflector and a Route Reflector itself. This is called a hierarchical Route Reflector design, which adds another layer of complexity, but also of flexibility and scalability to the whole Route Reflector feature. So a client router of a Route Reflector will need that information in the client list if it itself is a Route Reflector with its own clients. But all of that hierarchical Route Reflector infrastructure is a topic for another video. So that's the purpose of the Cluster List BGP attribute and why it's an important part of the Route Reflector iBGP design due to the absence of the iBGP split horizon rule. I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, please click that thumbs up button. If you'd like me to address other related topics, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe to get updates to newly published videos. I'm Lazarus at Telecom Tech. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I'd like to thank you for watching.